The royal chamber of Seriphus was filled with a heavy silence. The air shimmered faintly with silver mist that glowed under the dying sun. The alien princess, Lysera, lay motionless upon her crystal bed, her skin pale like moonstone. Every healer in the Empire had tried their best, but her life was fading like dust in the wind. The cause was unknown. A strange energy wound from a forbidden weapon used in the last war. None could understand it. Human engineer Ethan Cole stood at the edge of the room, frozen by the sight. He was not meant to be there. He was only called to repair a malfunctioning medpod near the Royal Infirmary. But when the alarms went off and the guards rushed in, he was pulled along in the confusion until he found himself standing before the dying heir of the Empire. The Queen herself, a tall figure with eyes like burning suns, stood over her. Daughter with despair on her face. Priests chanted ancient hymns of restoration, but nothing happened. The glow of Lysera's body dimmed with each passing breath. Ethan felt something twist inside his chest. Maybe it was pity. Maybe it was something more. When one of the healers stumbled, Ethan stepped forward without thinking. He tried to steady her body, but his hand brushed against the princess's bare arm. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the room burst with radiant light. Gasps echoed through the hall. The wounds that had been black and twisted began to turn silver again. The veins that had darkened glowed faintly beneath her skin. Lysera's chest rose with a deep breath for the first time in hours. The Queen stared at the human, her voice trembling. "What did you do?" Ethan pulled back his hand, confused and afraid. He had done nothing, or so he thought. His heart raced as Lysera's breathing steadied, and the glow of her body began to match the rhythm of his pulse. Every eye in the chamber turned toward him as if he were a creature out of legend. The Queen demanded answers, yet none could explain what had just happened. The healers scanned Ethan. His blood, his energy field, everything they could imagine, but no record matched. Humans were not known for magic nor healing energy. They were seen as fragile, beings of flesh and will, yet this one had done what no royal priest could. Ethan tried to leave, but the guards blocked his path. The Queen's tone softened. She did not see a trespasser. Now she saw hope. She ordered that Ethan remain in the palace under royal protection. The human felt like a prisoner, but something inside him whispered that this was far from punishment. He could still feel a strange connection, pulsing faintly in his chest, like an echo of Lysera's heartbeat. That night, he was summoned again. The princess had awakened. Her eyes opened for the first time since the battle that wounded her. They were bright amethyst, glowing in the dim light. She looked at him, not with fear, but with curiosity. "You saved me," she whispered, her voice soft like a song. Ethan shook his head, unsure of what to say. "I did not mean to," he said, but she smiled faintly. The Queen entered soon after, her expression unreadable. She studied Ethan for a long moment, and then spoke. "There are prophecies among our kind of a being, whose touch brings life, not death. We thought it was only a myth." Ethan tried to explain that he was no savior. But as days passed, Lysera grew stronger whenever he was near. Her recovery became a miracle, spreading across the Empire. Rumors spread that the human carried within him the lost light of the first, suns, the same power that once created life across the stars. Weeks passed, and the royal halls changed. The humans, once seen as lesser creatures, were now spoken of with awe. Ethan trained with alien scholars, trying to understand what had awakened within him. Every scan, every test, led to one truth: his presence alone healed not just the princess, but the soil, plants, and air around him. Lysera grew close to him often, walking the gardens where life had begun to bloom again. The queen watched from afar, torn between gratitude and unease. A bond was forming, one that went beyond healing. Lysera felt his thoughts, his pain, and his hope. Their connection was not of blood, but of spirit, something ancient and powerful. When the council learned of this, they warned the queen that no royal blood should ever bond with a human. But the queen remembered the moment her daughter's heart had stopped and the human's touch had brought her back. She made her decision before the empire. Let it be known that the light of life knows no species, she said. The court fell silent. Ethan stood beside Lysera, uncertain of what to say, but she took his hand in front of all. The glow between them spread like sunrise over a dead world. In that moment, Seraphis was reborn, not by royal decree, but by the touch of a single human whose heart refused to turn away from dying life.